6 o'clock, can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is officially called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Eads.
Present.
Trustee Lilly.
Present.
Trustee Dunlap. Present. Trustee Blakey.
Present.
Trustee Clark. Present. Trustee Marshall.
Present.
Is there anyone here tonight that is interested in addressing the board? Not? We will move on. Is there a motion to approve the minutes dated January 25th, 2022? Motion by Dunlap, supported by Marshall. Roll call, please.
Eads.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to our committee reports, starting with Trustee Lilly.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I only had one statement to make, is that we're still soliciting candidates for our very popular Public Works Committee. And I've got some great ideas that we could do as a committee. That could be anything from tree planting to fundraising for sidewalks, whatever a campaign may be for public works or beautification. It'd be a great idea to put a committee together, because we've never had one that could support or be creative in funding those projects. So we look forward to talking to you after the meeting if you're interested. And that's all I have for that, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Economic Development, Trustee Blakey.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a few things for economic development. First, I'd just like to ask everyone, has everyone been to the new Dollar General at Stony and Lynwood Dyer Road? No one's been? Okay. I'm going to admonish everyone that you need to get to the Dollar General. The Dollar General in Lynwood is absolutely fabulous. It's a clean store. It's a store that's being run by an outstanding young man. He's an assistant manager. His name is Eric Gillespie. He impressed my socks off when I met him. And he said that if anytime you come into the store and the store is not clean, to let him know. So remember that name, Eric Gillespie. Let him know anytime you go in there and the store is not clean. But the store has everything. And the store is just another example of the leadership that Mayor Curry has provided since she has been a trustee in the village of Lynwood and since she's been mayor. She started this effort when she was a trustee, and this effort has just culminated in the likes of this store. The store is open. We haven't had a grand opening yet, but the store is now open, and it is absolutely fabulous. It has everything that you would ever need, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And it's a very clean and store that's representative of our residents. So thank you, Mayor Curry. The next thing that I have is a reminder about May's Q House. It's at the corner of Torrance and Joar Road. They have their food truck, which is available Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we want you to please support them as they move into that location officially. They will be in there sometime very soon, we hope. And you know, Dunkin' Donuts is coming in right there at Glenwood, Dyer Road, and Torrance, and they're still waiting on some approvals, and we're looking forward to their arrival. That's all I have for economic development. Madam Mayor, may I move on to community affairs?
Yes.
Community affairs, I have a few things. Before I get to some of the upcoming dates, I want to just take a few minutes just to talk about the month that we're in right now. Everyone knows that this is Black History Month, a month that the United States has chosen to recognize and to highlight some of the accomplishments of Black Americans. And I wanted to put it into context because of all of the rhetoric that is going on in our country right now. To put it in context, Black history is American history. And everyone should be concerned with and desiring knowledge of Black history as American history. If you look around the room right now, anybody Black that you see in this room is here because slavery existed. We're not here because anything else happened. We're here because slavery existed. But through it all, the story of Black history is a story of Black love. because what black people have been able to do is through a great deal of adversity is continue to love, continue to build, and continue to create an atmosphere or an environment where everyone could live and thrive. I think it's important that we not allow the rhetoric that's going on right now in the United States to so overcome us that we forget all of the accomplishments and all of the recognitions that need to be acknowledged, not only this month, but also throughout the year. Thank you very much for indulging me with that. Now, I have important updates in terms of important upcoming dates, I should say. And all of these dates are found on this particular flyer. Natalie Oliver is going to be printing some more of those, but we have some important dates of things that are happening within the village. And get my, okay. Oh, okay. Things that are going to be happening in the village during the month of February. On February 9th, there are going to be block meetings that are going to be held by our Lynwood Police Department. They'll be getting in touch with the different blocks for those meetings. On February 14th, this coming Monday, there's going to be a senior bingo game here, right here in Village Hall. It's a luncheon for seniors. It's going to be free of charge to seniors. So if you are a senior or if you know of any seniors, please encourage them to come out. On February 23rd, there are going to be another block meetings by the Lynwood Police Department. And then there's going to be the first of its kind Coffee with the Mayor, hosted by NICOR. This will be an opportunity to not only get to know the mayor a little bit better, have some one-on-one FaceTime, but also to hear about some of the new developments that are happening as it relates to NICOR and your gas bill. And last but not least, there's going to be a chili cook-off on February 26th. That's going to happen at Lencioni's. You really don't have to be involved with this. I'm going to win anyway. So you really don't have to. I mean, you just come out to taste my chili, but if you want to taste the rest of these guys, but I can tell you now, I'm going to definitely win. But it's a $10 entry fee, and we would encourage everyone to participate in that. And there are flyers for February right up here, and there's also flyers for our Valentine's Day bingo for the seniors. Last but not least, we're still waiting on to hear about dates for our PACE bus shelter, when it's going to be installed. And then we had a meeting conflict for February 23rd, so we'll be rescheduling our community affairs meeting. And that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation, Trustee Dunlap. Thank you. Planning and Zoning.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to waive first, second read on action taken to approve the annexation request by Peter Minchev and Stefan Russakoff of the property commonly known as 1400 East Joel Road into Lynwood, Illinois.
There's a motion. Is it supported? There's a motion by Lilly, supported by Clark. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap. Yes. Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The second item is the second read action taken. I'd like to make a motion on ordinance number 22-02, an ordinance annexing the property commonly known as 1120 through 1140 East Joel Road, Lynwood, Illinois 60411, with the PIN numbers 32-14-400-002-000 and number 32-14-400-003-0000.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Supported.
Motion by Lilly, supported by Clark. My apologies, Attorney Boyle. If you want to address this one in the previous.
I don't know that there's much more to say about the item that's on the floor right now. This is a matter that has been in various stages brought before the trustees, always with the recommendation and approval of the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Commission. This is the final step in a process for the approval of this piece of property. The intended purpose of the property is going to be for a Muslim Islamic cemetery.
Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Madam Mayor, I have one more item. This is I need a motion on first read, no action taken, to approve the voluntary annexation request by Franciscan Alliance Incorporated of the properties commonly known as 24 Joliet Street, Dyer, Indiana, and 3790 Lincoln Highway, Chicago Heights, Illinois.
There's a motion, is it supported?
Supported.
Motion by Lilly, supported by Clark. Attorney Boyle.
Yes. This is a ordinance that's coming to you on first reading. A couple of comments are in order here. Don't be, I don't know what the right word would be, but don't have an adverse reaction to the fact that it's listed as a Dyer, Indiana address. We're not recommending approval of an ordinance that would begin some kind of inter-border war between the state of Illinois and the state of Indiana. This is a parcel of property that is entirely located in unincorporated Illinois at the Indiana border. And by virtue of its location, it has been given several different addresses over the years to the extent that it even has a legal address. For example, when you go to the Cook County Assessor's Office, there is no address associated with the property, only a PIN number. This ordinance should not be taken as an indication by its language that the village is looking to take property from the state of Indiana or from the city of Chicago Heights. As I said, this is a property that is entirely located in unincorporated Illinois at the Indiana border. It borders basically the Franciscan Health Center complex. It's right there at Route 30 as you come into Dyer. Okay. That's it.
All right, roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. Sisters, you are one step closer to being Lynwoodians. Trustee, anything else?
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor, that is all I have to present.
Ordinances and resolutions.
Motion for second read, action taken on resolution 22-05, a resolution to include compensation paid under an Internal Revenue Code section 125 plan as IMRF earnings.
There's a motion, is it supported?
Supported.
Motion by Clark, supported by Marshall. Attorney Boyle.
Yes, this is a second reading on a resolution that was recommended to the village by the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund as part of a routine review of the village's records with respect to the retirement benefits that are afforded to village employees. Employees that work for the village, by and large, are going to be enrolled as members in the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. So as a result of that membership, deductions are made from their paychecks for various reasons. Their retirement benefits then come from the state. Because the benefits come from the state periodically shows up to check things out to make sure everything is in order. And in this case, the routine review indicated that this resolution had not been adopted. And so as to correct that deficiency, we have this ordinance before you tonight.
Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap. Yes. Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
I have a motion for first read, no action taken on ordinance 22-11, and ordinance adopting public comment policies for the village of Lynwood.
There's a motion, is it supported? Motion by Clark, supported by Eves. Attorney Boyle.
This is an ordinance which, if adopted by the Board of Trustees, would establish guidelines for public comment periods at Board of Trustees meetings and other meetings of committees within the village of Lynwood. Okay? What that means is that you would have guidelines that are considered to be what the courts call reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. They don't limit or restrict a speaker's viewpoint or what it is they want to say. They establish guidelines for the conduct of the public comment period itself. An overall time limit, a per person limit on speaking, both of which can be extended at the discretion of the trustees. A rather common sense requirement that when people appear before the board to make public comment, regardless of viewpoint, they present themselves and act with respect and civility throughout the time period. This is not something that the village currently has in its ordinances, and it's being recommended by the village president for several reasons. Basically speaking, it would, the village president believes it would promote the orderly discussion and provision of information and viewpoints by residents to the trustees and to other members of committees that the village may have. Provides a reasonable opportunity for people to, still provides a reasonable opportunity for people to address the board and to address village officials. Also, it would promote further promote an orderly and efficient conduct of meetings and preserve sufficient time for the board or any other subsidiary bodies of the village to conduct their business. I don't know if I stole your thunder or not, but that's
Still away. Roll call, please.
Eves.
Yes.
Lily.
Yes.
Dunlap. Yes. Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
That motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, health and wellness. Health and wellness national awareness for February. February is National History, Black History Month. It's a month to celebrate the achievements of African Americans. February is also American Heart Month. So eat a heart healthy diet, do some exercise, and continue to watch your blood pressure. It is also a National Fasting Month, which celebrates the benefits of intermittent fasting on metabolic health. To note, practicing intermittent fasting is as simple as changing the timing of your meals, like eating between the hours of 9 and 5 only, or 10 and 6 only. The goal is to try to give your body at least 10 to 12 hours break from metabolizing sugar every night. COVID. In the last 14 days, Lynwood cases are down by 69%. We are currently 47% vaccinated with people having at least 2 vaccines. That is an increase as of last month. If you still need a COVID vaccine booster or test, you can call the Cook County Department of Public Health at 833-308-1988, Monday through Friday, 7 to 6, Saturdays, 7 to 4. Family Christian Health Center is still offering free vaccines and boosters. You can call to make an appointment at 708-596-5177. And that's all I have.
Finance, Trustee Eves.
Good evening. Motion to approve bill payment memo 1438 and a total disbursement of $366,788.36, which includes the payroll for the period of January 9th through January 22nd for $191,317.97.
A motion by Eves, supported by Clark. Just one thing to note, payroll is higher than normal because this was the payroll in which we had approved our police officers' contract and paid out retro pay. So it was 2 years worth of retro pay that was included. Roll call?
Eves.
Yes.
Lily.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
I have a motion for first read, no action taken, ordinance number 22-10, and ordinance amending section 2-162 of the Village of Lynwood's Code of Ordinances.
There's a motion, is it supported? Motion by Eves, supported by Dunlap. Attorney Boyle.
Yes, this is an ordinance, pardon me, that would amend a current provision of your Code of Ordinances. And what it would do is it would change the salary, the annual salary of the village president. The history behind the ordinance is as follows. You go back to August of 2012, and at that time, the village's Code of Ordinances was amended to establish an annual salary for the position of village president. It established the village president's position as a full-time position, and the annual salary that was provided by that ordinance back in 2012 was the annual amount of $85,000. There was also some language in the ordinance at that time that allowed for that salary to be prorated in the event that the village president elected on his or her own to go to a part-time role rather than a full-time role. Fast forward 7 years to August 2019, the Code of Ordinances was amended again, in this case to designate the village president's position only as a full-time position, no part-time election available, requiring a minimum of 40 hours of service per week. At the same time it did that, it reduced the annual salary for the full-time position by about 76.5%, from $85,000 to $20,000 per year. Although the ordinance took effect in 2019, the salary reduction and change in the, or clarification of the position as full-time did not take effect until after the April 2021 elections. Okay. So as things stand here today, your village president is working well over 40 hours a week to make $20,000 per year. Okay. And the goal of this ordinance is to restore the village president position to the amount that it was set at back in 2012. Not to increase it beyond what it was in 2012, but to reestablish it at that, in recognition of the amount of time that's required to adequately perform the duties of the position. Okay.
What is that amount?
$85,000.
And this will take effect when?
It will not take effect until after the April 2025 elections because the municipal code prohibits a midterm adjustment in compensation.
Can you say that one more time for the audience so that there won't be a lot of influx of calls?
I can't guarantee there won't be a lot of influx of calls, but I will tell you that if the ordinance is approved, it will not take effect until after the April 2025 elections. I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
Any questions or?
I have a question. I have a comment.
I'm sorry.
Can I make that comment?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a amendment that I feel very strongly about. It's also an amendment that the residents and the public needs to understand. As Attorney Boyle stated, in 2012, there was an amendment to raise the salary for the village president to $85,000. In 2019, prior to an election that that could replace the village president, there was an effort by the board at that time to reduce that salary to $20,000, so that if that present village president did not win, the next person in place would still have to work full-time, but only be paid $20,000. Okay? I see this as egregious. I see it as sophomoric, and I see it as a pillage of the village. By pillage, I mean take, without any give. From 2012 until 2021, the village has remained the same. And I can't tell you what it looked like on day one when this administration came in. I cannot tell you what that day was like. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. The things that happened that day, the people that walked out that day, and it's just, I just can't, there are no words to really satisfy how strongly I feel about this, and how evil I believe this action was. Leadership is not about leading with fear or intimidation. Leadership is about leading with vision and collaboration. Ever since Mayor Curry has been in office, she's provided vision and she's provided collaboration. That is why you see all of the different things happening in the village of Lynwood that you see right now. Okay? And it is an absolute disgrace that Mayor Curry works beyond 40 hours a week, because she's not only staying here during the day, but she's going out and having different meetings during the day and in the evening, some of which I've attended with her, so I know. And it's a disgrace that she, for the next, 3 years, has to make a salary of $20,000 because of someone else's evil thoughts about them not being able to be in office continuously or just forever. If I had my way, I would ask that and I would ask Attorney Boyle if there was any way that we can change this immediately. I would want to change immediately because it's very undeserving of anyone to be able to be put in a situation like this, particularly when you see the transformations that are taking place in the village of Lynwood. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. And so I wanted to take this time to make sure that everyone here understood what was happening, because this was an intentional vote to vote that this salary be changed from $85,000 to $20,000 in hopes that it would dissuade someone from running for this office. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
Roll call, please.
Keys.
Yes.
Lily.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, board. We'll move on to public safety. Trustee Marshall?
Just have one thing on the agenda for myself. I'd like to make a motion to approve Trey Gibson as a full-time police officer for the village of Lynwood.
There's a motion. Is it supported? Motion by Marshall, supported by Lilly. Roll call.
Keys.
Yes.
Lily.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. Trey will swear you in shortly. We'll move on to our department heads, starting with Chief of Police Dan Dempsey.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On February 1st, 2022, officers were dispatched to First National Bank, 19500 Torrance Avenue, for a man in the bank who had just withdrew $1,005 from a fraudulent check that was deposited 1 day earlier. Shortly after the money was handed over to the offender, it was discovered the check was fraudulent. When officers arrived on the scene, the offender quickly jumped into a vehicle and fled the parking lot. Officers were able to initiate a traffic stop on the offender's vehicle. Officers observed a large amount of $20 bills on the passenger side of the vehicle. Officers placed the offender into custody, recovered the entire amount of money that was withdrawn. The offender was taken back to the Lynwood Police Department, read his Miranda rights. The offender waived his rights, gave a written statement admitting to depositing the fraudulent check, as well as making the withdrawal from a bank, as well as an ATM 1 day prior. The offender was charged with 1 count of deception on a bank. I would like to thank Bud Central Dispatch, who handled our records division during the 2-day snowstorm. They really helped out our department a lot. I'm happy to announce the swearing in of Trey Gibson, our next Lynwood police officer. I've had the opportunity to sit down and speak with Trey a number of times, and I can tell you we are very lucky to have Trey become part of our department. He came highly recommended by our assistant chief's son, who was a former Indiana State Trooper and now an ATF agent. He worked with Trey in the past. Also came highly recommended from a phone call I just happened to receive yesterday when he found out Trey was coming here, the head of the juvenile detention facility in Lake County, Indiana, who happens to be my brother. Trey worked for him, and he found out Trey was coming here, and he called me just to let me know how smart, professional, and respectful Trey is, and what a huge asset he'll be to our department. Both of them could not say enough good things about Trey, so Lynwood is very happy to have you. I want to remind everybody to visit the police department's Facebook page. We are honoring African-American law enforcement pioneers, Lynwood employees, Lynwood business owners, and African-American medical pioneers for Black History Month. And I'm still looking for bios from our elected officials. If you guys are interested, please send me one. I would like to thank the owners of Lola's Gaming Cafe for the $500 donation to K9 Luna's training. The Lynwood Police Department appreciates everyone's love and support for Luna. This Thursday, our officers will be attending a training that focuses on officer complacency. This training is to eliminate preventable line-of-duty deaths and serious injuries through compelling common sense training designed to focus on areas under an officer's control. The training is free to our department and was arranged by Commander Hernandez. Crime stats from January 25th through February 7th, we had 153 building checks, 49 ordinance violations, 16 suspicious incidents, 25 domestic disturbances, 71 traffic stops, 7 traffic accidents, 7 check well-beings, 10 disturbance calls, 13 assist motorists, 89 citations were written, and 4 guns were recovered. Madam Mayor, that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Chief. Sergeant Weinberg.
Yes, Madam Mayor. The community policing notes are as follows. We have a block meeting for Sunstead Estates scheduled for tomorrow night, 6 p.m. The next block meeting is scheduled for Alpine Park on 2/23. We have the traffic stop safety class at Bloom on the 22nd of February, and then Bloom Trail is scheduled for the 24th. The senior Valentine's Day bingo will be on Valentine's Day between the hours of noon and 2 p.m. Please RSVP with Natalie Oliver at Village Hall. Lynwood Chili Cook-Off at Lencioni's February 26th at 1 p.m. Residents will be able to meet with village employees while enjoying chili and great company. Village employees and officials will be competing for bragging rights of best chili. Please contact me if interested in cooking, and the proceeds are going to help sponsor the Cops and Bobbers event later on in the year, which is a very awesome event. We have the Emergency ID Bracelet Program, and we have begun taking applications and have already received quite a few. This program is specifically designed for our seniors and persons or children with disabilities or special needs. This bracelet is engraved with a specific number that, when given to dispatch or records, provides the person's identity, medical conditions, medication, and emergency contact information. This information allows responding emergency personnel to quickly identify and treat the person. And we're also proud to announce that we will be conducting a Citizens Police Academy. We've had numerous residents advise they wish to learn more about what we as police department do, as well as wanting to participate in the traffic stop safety program. The Citizens Police Academy is designed to give residents a general overview of law enforcement practices and to provide better understanding of daily activities and functions of their police and fire departments. Topics will include traffic stops, crash investigations, DUI, crime scene processing, and much more. It's an 8-week program. It's going to be every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. and you must register for the class, so please contact me if interested. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Sergeant, I believe you misspoke. You said Lynwood Chili Cook-Off is the Blakey Chili. Thank you very much.
My chili is on the previous chili.
We're going to censor him tonight.
Right. Trustee Blakey, you better land the plane with this chili. All right, Fire Chief Newton.
Yes, Madam Mayor. So just to go over our call volume, we had 3 additional calls than we did prior a week, for a total of 62 calls. 3 of them were fires, 2 were car fires. One of them was a significant car fire that was on Sequoia, because it did have exposures to a house, but due to rapid response between our units and the Lansing Fire Department to assist us, we were able to extinguish the fire quickly, and everybody was safe. We had a total of 48 medical runs, which was the same from the prior period. 6 mutual aid calls were requested by other towns, including a house fire that was in Sauk Village recently. 1 gas leak, 1 assist to a citizen for a stove that wouldn't turn off, 1 drone call out by the South Holland Police Department, and 3 fire alarm and smoke alarm calls. As I keep mentioning, we're continuing to look to improve our efforts. We've implemented for our staffing model for our department. As many of you may know, we're not staffed 24/7, but we're making efforts to get closer and closer to 24/7 staffing. We've implemented the first phase, and so far, the department members are very, very happy with the changes, with the 12-hour shifts on the weekends. We also have a lot of inquiries coming in from other firefighters that are looking to apply to our department to be able to pick up some of these shifts as well. With that, we are actively recruiting new firemen. If you don't have any training or certifications, we will put you through the Fire Academy and through EMT school. You do have to pass a medical screening, background screening, and agility test. Currently, we have 10 applicants that have passed the background checks. We just interviewed 5 of them, and just to give you a little bit about these 5, one of them is currently in the Fire Academy right now at Prairie State College. 1 is already certified, so in a very short time after, assuming he gets through everything, he'll be able to actually provide value for the village. 1 lives in town, so that will not only help for our part-time shifts, but also our paid-on-call staff. And 1 of them lives in a collar town. That's a town that's basically bordering Lynwood. So again, they'll be able to assist with PLC calls. We have 5 more interviews to come, which we'll be getting done within the next few weeks. Related to that, we've also applied for a SAFERS grant. This is a grant provided by FEMA that will potentially enable us to provide a full-time salary that the federal government basically will fund the Village of Lynwood a full-time salary for 3 full-time firefighters for up to 3 years. So hopefully we'll get all that or some portion of that, or be awarded that grant so we can escalate and move more quicker with getting that 24/7 staffing. Also, we have our residential smoke detector program, so that's continually ongoing. If you have a home that's roughly 30 years or older, you have questions about your smoke detectors, if they're looking dingy, by all means, call the fire department, set up an appointment. It will be more than happy to come out and check them. If they need replacing, we'll go ahead and replace them. And then lastly, just to let everybody here know, and Trustee Blakey, the fire chief's chili will be at the cook-off, so please come on out and check it out. Thank you, Madam Mayor. That completes my report.
Madam Mayor, I have a serious question.
I don't believe you.
Chief, I'm interested in knowing, how did those car fires start? Do you know?
We don't know. Basically, one person was trying to move a vehicle,
Okay.
and it just caught fire while they're trying to get out of the snow. So we don't know if snow got into something underneath it, but it was in the dash. The other one was actually a squad car from Cook County Sheriff's.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Was Trustee Blakey's chili in the backseat when it caught fire?
No comment, ma'am.
Thank you, Chief Newton. We'll move on to the serious one in the group, our village engineer, Dave Shelley.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing big or exciting this meeting, but we are continuing to work with Public Works on some compliance issues with the, or not issues, but annual reports and such with the water and sewer.
Thank you. That is a massive undertaking. Thank you. Superintendent of Public Works, Ray Campbell.
Madam Mayor, since the last board meeting, we have had 2 snow events. One was January 28th. This was called a lake effect snow, which came in off of Lake Michigan. Normally, the way we're called out is the dispatchers take, as the residents call in, or the officers on the street call in and say the streets are getting hazardous, then we dispatch our public works crew to come in. During that event, we used a total of 42 tons of rock salt to treat the ice and snow on the street. Our second snow event was Tuesday, February 2nd, which lasted for 3 days. Around 12:30 a.m., Public Works crews was called out due to the change in the weather from rain to snow. The Public Works crews plowed the streets for 5 a.m. rush hour. With snow coming, strong wind gusts, which made it impossible to keep the streets clean, the crews kept plowing the streets and parking lots all day into the night. Wednesday evening, Public Works crew had one accident at 207th and Torrance. Snowplow truck slid into a car and pushed it into the ditch. Police report was completed and no one identified any injuries at this time. At 12 a.m. on Thursday morning, Public Works crews started plowing and salting the streets again for the morning rush hour. They also completed the local streets, but due to the wind drifts, they had to repeat this process over and over again. The Public Works crews were finally able to go home at 3:30 p.m. on Thursday. So they came in that Tuesday morning at 12:30 a.m. They was out to 3:30 on Thursday evening. On Friday morning, Public Works crews helped with the following streets like Torrance, Lynwood, Dyer, Burnham, and Glenwood Lansing Road, which are state and county roads that had not been cleaned with plowing and salting. Public Works has a total of 5 vehicles used for snow removal and one-ton truck, 4 dump trucks with plows. Public Works lost 1 dump truck due to loss of power steering for the vehicle. This was a total of 181 tons of rock salt used to treat the ice and snow on the streets. We had Evelyn Holmes from reporter with ABC Channel 7 Eyewitness News interview one of our drivers at the Village Hall parking lot. Evelyn Holmes stated that due to the weather, it would be almost impossible to keep up with the snow. So I'd just like to thank the Public Works crews for not giving up and a job well done due to the weather conditions. This was a pretty bad storm. I mean, with the wind gusts, as we would clean, it would just cover up right behind you. But the guys stayed with it,
They stayed, they took breaks to be safe, they was diligent, they put their heart into it because they cared about what they did, and they did a good job for the residents, and I just want to thank them. And that concludes my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Superintendent Campbell. I also want to say kudos to you and the Public Works crew because they did a magnificent job and the residents were very pleased. So, thank you. There's no report for finance tonight. Attorney Boyd?
No report.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, I have the distinct honor of swearing in one of our newly appointed police officers.
Trey Gibson, will you step forward tonight? Trey will be pinned by his mother, Lavella Burks Gibson. Ms. Gibson, will you come in? Thank you.
Good. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Trey Gibson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Illinois,
of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully
the
discharge
duties of
the duties of
the office of full-time police officer
full-time police
for the
officer
village of Lynwood,
for the village of Lynwood,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations, officer.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations, young man. Congratulations. Congratulations, sir.
They call me Bob. All right. Welcome, Trey. I think you have some coworkers back there who probably want to shake your hand. Makes my heart smile. Trey, we promise we won't make you eat chili or listen to the mayor. All right. Wow, I heard that. I just have a few things to share with you tonight. Everyone in this village knows, I've said it before and I'll say it again, we are a family here in the village of Lynwood. So when you laugh, we laugh. When you cry, we cry. When you grieve, we grieve. And so recently, our very own Sue Stacy lost her father. And we went on this journey with her. And we attended the visitation on Saturday where we presented the family with a resolution. I am going to read it into official record for this board. This is resolution number 22-12. Whereas it is with deep sadness we announce the passing of Richard A. Mahalik on Monday, January 31st, 2022. Beloved father of Susan Stacy, valued employee for the village of Lynwood. And whereas Richard A. Mahalik, a devoted husband to the late Cheryl Mahalik, loving father of Rick, Gary, Jeffrey, Susan, Scott, and the late Daniel, cherished grandfather and great-grandfather, dearest brother of the late Stephen Mahalik, and fond uncle and friend to many. Whereas Susan Stacy has been a dedicated public servant who has balanced her commitment to serving the residents of Lynwood along with her commitment to care for her father. And whereas the village of Lynwood shares in your sorrow but recognizes that the Lord has accepted into his presence a good and faithful servant. Therefore be it resolved that the village of Lynwood, village president, clerk, and Board of Trustees do hereby offer our sincere condolences. A copy of this resolution is being read at tonight's board meeting and recorded into record. What we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. Helen Keller. Will Sue and the Mahalik family please come forward?
God bless you and your family.
If you get a chance before the end of the night, please love on this family. All right, just a few more things. I am asking for this board to approve the new job descriptions for the Village of Lynwood. We are continuously working to make sure that things are decent and in order. One of the things that we lacked was job descriptions, and we have many jobs here in Lynwood, and so we have final drafts. I am asking for a motion to approve. Motion by Marshall, supported by Clark. Roll call.
Eads. Yes. Lily.
Yes.
Dunlap. Yes. Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Yes. Marshall.
That motion carries. A copy of, thank you. A copy of the job descriptions will be available to you at Village Hall if anyone is interested in reading them. I need to go back. I was so caught up in making sure that I didn't cry when I was reading that resolution. I did not ask the board to vote. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 22-12? Motion by Dunlap. Supported by Clark. Roll call.
Eads. Yes. Lily.
Yes.
Dunlap. Yes. Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. Mr. Mahalik will forever be in the records of the Village of Lynwood. I am also asking this board to approve the reappointment of Doranita Tyler to Lynwood's Police and Fire Pension Board. Is Doranita here tonight? I do not see her. Doranita is a longtime Lynwood resident. She is a Lynwood business owner. The American Family Insurance that you see on Glenwood Dyer Road is her business, and she's been serving on the Police and Fire Pension Board for about 5 years now, and she is willing to continue to serve. So is there a motion to approve her reappointment? Motion by Dunlap, supported by Marshall. Roll call.
Eads. Yes. Lily.
Yes.
Dunlap. Yes. Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. The Police and Fire Pension Board was down one member, and when I talked to Mrs. Tyler about the ideal candidate, she shared with me that it would be great to have someone who has a strong finance background, and that brought me to Eddie Jones. And so I want to share a little bit about Eddie. Eddie works for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Office of Inspector General, Office of Audits. He is the auditor in charge. He's been doing that for over 10 years. He is the current officer in charge on the audit of the Centers of Excellence and Expertise, consistently navigating the challenges of leading the team during the pandemic and virtual work environment. He is the officer in charge on the FEMA Public Access Grant to PREPA, which is Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority audit, where they were issued 2 reports, and he helped the team earn a 2019 DHS OIG Group Award for Excellence. He was the officer in charge of the FEMA Maryland grant audit, and he led that team in reviewing $36 million in DHS grant-funded programs where their work highlighted continued systematic issues, including the lack of oversight and monitoring of a $10.8 million in grant funds. He has served as a senior auditor for Washington, Pittman, and McKeever LLC. Some of his accomplishments include, as a senior management consultant, he completed a risk analysis, operational evaluation for the City of Chicago's restructure of their procurement department, MBE, WBE, DBE certification program, saving the city over $1 million through labor reduction and outsourcing. He also completed a single audit of Cook County, Illinois, recommending corrective action for significant audit findings that could negatively impact future federal funding for federally funded programs. I'm almost done. He is currently the president of the Wellington Court Homeowners Association. He is a member of Hazel Crest Assembly Church. Eddie has a Bachelor of Arts degree in accounting from Kentucky State University. He is a certified internal auditor. He is a member of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. He's a member of the Association of Inspectors General, Certified Inspector General Auditor. He's a member of the Association of Government Accountants, and he's the former president-elect. And he also serves on the DHS OIG Diversity Council. So when she said, give me somebody who understands finance, this was a no-brainer, and that is why I am asking for a motion to appoint Eddie Jones to the Police and Fire Pension Board. Motion by Clark, supported by Eves. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lily.
Yes.
Dunlap. Yes. Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. Eddie Jones, please stand. Welcome to. And he has already shared with me that he wants to do even more, and we will have you, so thank you. All right. Couple other things to share. If you live on Lakewood, or if you know of someone who lives on Lakewood, or you've driven down Lakewood, you will notice that the house that caught fire back in, I believe, 2019 is no longer standing. It has finally been demoed, and I am thrilled that that eyesore is no longer here in the village of Lynwood. The village is handing out KN95 masks. If you are in need of masks, please stop by Village Hall and pick up some at the front counter. The last thing that I want to share with the village of Lynwood is very exciting and a testament to the work that this administration is doing with these department heads and these brothers in blue, and all of our residents just working collectively to make sure that Lynwood is truly a beacon of light in the Southland. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Clark. Is it supported? Supported by Dunlap. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Lily.
Yes.
Dunlap. Yes. Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. This meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you all for coming out tonight.